I would like to cordially invite you all to take a gander upon the inside of my box. Now I know you're thinking, Dustin, that is a nice little freezer you got there, and you're absolutely correct. But the thing about this freezer, it has never seen a single piece of food that was not bought from a store. And where we're going this year, the ability to source affordable or quality food is pretty limited. So one of our main goals in Rupert, stock in the freezer. Pressure is higher than it's ever been. Between licenses and gear, we're into this operation for $1,000. We need full limits of everything.
In this dark night, it's too hard for me to say now if the rays of hope will shine again someday.
Stoked to have nice new warm gear, but can you believe Prince Rupert, early May, sweating in this jacket?
Was the stars guiding me to God's shores now? Was the devil set me drifting once more? Will these clouds ever lift and the map again reveal? And some tales are just too dark to tell.
Phase 1 is dropping the crab pots. First time ever owning 2 pots, which is pretty awesome. We can actually, with the 2 licenses, we can have 4 pots, but I'm not on an unlimited budget here. I always had great success in this little bay in previous years, but I see nobody else is crabbing there, so I think I might try a different spot. Jeez, when you buy it, it's perfectly coiled.
Oh,
Look
no.
at this. You can do it?
I think so.
Arigato. This is gotta come on there. Oh, that's looking promising. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, I want to go deeper. Believe it or not, there's actually a direct correlation between massive bird's nest and full limited dungeons. When you're shaking up the pot, you shake up the bait, crabs can smell it way more. Ancient fisherman's trick. We're ready. Okie dokie. Dropping the other one close to Salt Lakes. And after a full morning of screwing around, we have still 3 hours of incoming tide. I wouldn't say I'm proud of us, but could be more disappointed. See that? Nice coil. Goes out super. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy to lose my patience, but this is about enough. It's like 10 feet deep here. As a matter of fact, I can see the bottom.
What?
Need to fix that depth sounder immediately. Whoa, scored some seaweed.
Wow.
Round 3. Looking for about 80 feet here. Gonna have a BF. Look at that. That's the spot. I can see the crabs tugging at it already. Pretty straightforward run today. And if you're coming into Prince Rupert, there's only 2 ways you can do it on a boat. The big ships come through there. That's like the cargo ships, the ferries, and the cruise ships. It's really deep going through there. We're gonna go through Metlakatla Pass. There's some very shallow sections, so you have to go in a small boat or do your research for plotting a course through there. It's a beautiful little pass though, and that'll bring us right out to the open ocean, and then a short shot straight across to Lucy. Here we go, Fishtown, front and center. Made it. Got Lucy Island off to the right, open ocean off the bow. They say you're not supposed to bring a small boat out into the open ocean, but what they don't tell you, it's all the same ocean, just less rocks and stuff to hit. If anything, it's actually safer. That's why the fish come out here. But little do they know, when Dustin's around, there's nothing safe about it. So if you're wanting to learn how to catch fish, there's a pretty good chance you're watching the wrong channel. Also, if you want to watch somebody catch a whole bunch of fish, there's a pretty good chance you're watching the wrong channel. Here's the basic system. Couldn't tell you what it's called, but there's a big chunk of lead on the bottom, then a T-shaped thing, and then some octopus, and I guess that just goes right down to the bottom. That's the bottom. Oh yeah, we're fishing. Oh, it's heavy already. I guess basically the goal is to catch 2 halibut before either of us get seasick. Changing locations. Okay, here it is. Hung up in the bag. Guaranteed fish right here in this spot. It's not deep at all. The bottom's right there. It's about to happen. I can tell. Caught some weeds. I think if you're in the weeds, you're definitely not in Halibut County. Spot number 3, feeling super optimistic. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. Guaranteed success. This spot friggin' sucks. Spot number 4 coming right up. Oh yeah, that's the one. They like it right there on the drop off. I tell you, Emmy and I traveled 33 countries together, living on a cruise ship. Not once did she talk about being seasick. First day out on the skiff, sicker than a dog. I think she's faking it. I think she's just sick of my jokes. I'll tell you what I'm sick of. No friggin' fish. Oh, what the heck? Trying to look cool for all the new viewers that don't realize I'm not a very good fisherman. There's a rock. What do you think? You can make some octopus sushi tonight? Maybe we can cook up the chicken from the crab traps? JK, those pots are gonna be full. Okay, spot number 5. This is the spot right here. Going down. Welcome to the halibut hangout. See, the reason we haven't been catching any halibut yet is because we weren't in this spot. This is the Halley hole. There's the bottom. Just shy of 1,000 feet, right at the junction of Halley Heights and Chicken Wing Crescent. And just give it the old 1-2 jig. What's today, Thursday?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't like octopus on Thursdays. This is the problem that I have. I get all the advice, I buy all the gear, talk to all the people, go to all the places, fish in all the good fishing holes, never catch fish. The old Google machine tells me it should be an aggressive upwards jig and a controlled free fall. Giving it a whirl. What do you think? This next spot, some fresh octopi? Direct correlation between fresh octopus and fish on. I think we're at spot number 7 or 8, maybe number 9, not entirely sure. But this is the spot. Changing spots. Maybe I'm not deep enough. Ooh, found a deep spot. Yes, throw up in the ocean because it's called chumming. That's how you catch lots of fish. You gotta chum for them. Emmy has come back to the land of the living, trying her luck at some fishing. And let me tell you, it's a good thing she makes good sandwiches because neither of us make a very good fisherman. Time to call her quits and head back. Halibut or no halibut, I certainly can't complain about the day. It is beautiful out here, nice and calm. The sun came out and my optimism has only been mildly diminished. There's gonna be 2 full pots of dungees coming up. So far feels like nothing but rope.
Oh, please.
You wanna pull it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should.
Lighter than before.
Lighter than before? I think it's still on the bottom. There's no way. Oh, it's at the top? There's a couple crabs in it.
In it?
3. Yep.
Oh, that's big one.
Oh, so we weren't total losers.
Yeah.
Just. Okie dokie. Look at that shiny new. Oh, got you wet, huh? Sorry about that. You can already tell this one is heavier. Okay, you're up. This is the big moment. Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You're almost halfway.
Half.
I don't know. You tell me. Take a look over there.
I don't see anything. Oh my god!
Is it full?
What is it?
No, I can't see it.
Come here.
After this struggle, this thing better be stuffed to the friggin' brim. Oh, and it is too. Yes. Okay, let me help you. This is what a crab trap should friggin' look like. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, finally a friggin' success. Look at the size of this baby. Drastically more than large enough. Finally a bit of success today and some food for the freezer. And the name of the game is food for the freezer. So we're gonna switch the 1 crab pot over to the highly producing spot and we'll retrieve them tomorrow. We ended up doing really good crabbing. 2 full limits our first day, 2 full limits our second day. Spent many hours shelling them, and we're leaving Rupert with about 15 pounds of beautiful fresh Dungeness meat in the freezer. But I'd really like Emmy to experience catching her first real fish. And lucky for me, I have a little professional help in this town. My buddy Hayden owns a charter company, so we're heading out bright and early tomorrow. See if we can get Emmy into her first ever salmon and her first halibut.
When you fish in the lower mainland, it's quite often you see, 100 boats fishing the mouth of the Fraser and the big traffic jam, and it just doesn't really happen up here. The fishing can be pretty good down south as well, but it just doesn't compare to up north. It's kind of the last Wild West as far as fishing goes. And nobody talks about Prince Rupert. Everybody goes to Haida Gwaii. So Prince Rupert's almost a well-kept secret still,
You have to yell fish on. How's it feeling?
So heavy. You got this.
So if it pulls really hard, you let go of the big line.
There you go. Come back here. There we go.
Good job.
Let's pull it.
Steady, gentle lift.
High, nice and high.
There it is!
Good job!
That's a beauty.
Oh man!
That's a beauty. You guys are gonna be eating for a while.
Wow, that's a good sized salmon.
BC is a magical place, and anybody coming to experience it for the first time, it's just special to see. And that everybody's in awe of the mountains, the ocean, the wildlife. How do you go wrong? You can't beat the Chinook either. The Chinook fishing, like we still get monster Chinooks here on the regular. I've been guiding for 7 years now. I got into it because I didn't want to be, 50, 60 years old and wish I tried something. And once I tried it, I fell in love, and this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. You've been out here as much as I have, put as many hours in, and had good teachers. It just becomes easier and easier once you know your area and you know how to read the tides. Yeah, limits aren't impossible in Rupert at all. It happens quite often. It's one of the best spots we have on the coast, for sure.
Here we go. First fish of the season. It's a trophy, guarantee it.
Yeah,
It's gonna spool me.
Amy was like, I didn't want this one.
Looking for a race.
Good job!
Nice fish. Oh yeah! Woo! Fish on! Beauty!
Thanks, guys.
Good thing we were here to help you.
Yeah, right?
Time management is huge when you're out here. You don't want to waste time. So getting dialed in and understanding what tide to target, what species is huge. And we maximize time the best we can. So depending on first light salmon bite, that's totally a thing. So try to get out there like we did today and get our salmon real quick, and then move off and use maybe a slack tide for halibut after that would be perfect.
Got another big one.
Now it's done.
Good job.
Well, there you have it. That's how it's supposed to be done. Less than an hour of fishing, and all of us have a fish in the boat. Gonna head out for some deeper water and hopefully some halibut.
Halibut is kind of the bread and butter. It's one of the best spots we have on the coast for halibut. Today the weather picked up a little bit more than it was supposed to, but it's pretty typical, especially early season in May and then late season, late August, September. Sometimes it's a mixed bag. You don't know quite what you're going to get, but it's about being able to adapt and make the best out of a situation. The nice part about Rupert is no matter what the weather's doing, there's usually somewhere we can go to get out of the weather, and the fishing's so good that we usually still get on to fish regardless.
Look at these sea legs. I'm like a human gimbal. Here we are right in the middle of the Pacific. Over there is British Columbia. This island you can see right here, that's Japan. Going down for some hallies. It's very heavy. There you go. Keep fishing them up there. Look at him. There he is. You gotta hold it, and then I'm gonna grab him. It's hard. Catching back-to-back salmon like that was a real treat, but as far as halibut, our goal was really just one. And lucky for us, we got into it pretty quick because Emmy and I ended up fairly green out there. Nevertheless, the freezer is officially stocked, and more than anything, we just had a great day with some great folks, and I could not recommend Northwest BC Fishing Charters enough. So if you guys want to come out and have a great day on the water, stock your freezer. I'll have Hayden's information linked in the description below. And now, it's time to go do a little bit of cooking. This is the official maiden voyage of the outdoor kitchen, and I could not be more excited about it. Been really looking forward to trying this thing, but it's just been too cold. But I've boiled a limit of dungeons inside the rig before, and it's not very nice. Helps if you turn it on. There she goes. Just had to purge the system. Staying at a brand new spot today, which is pretty exciting. And it's right on the ocean, so I don't even have to mix the water. I can just get it right out. Fresh and clean. It would be crazy to say I didn't love the outdoor kitchen, but it does take a while to get to a boil. Certainly not a complaint. Sipping on some locally handcrafted beers. But as you can see, we're at a vigorous boil here, so. Time to go in, and I think we're gonna do 2 or 3 at a time. I think there's room for 3. We're going for 3 and a bonus leg. And those will be in there for 17 minutes exactly, plus a little bit because I forgot to set the timer. First batch of crabs is done, skis. I'll show you guys how we're cleaning these crabs. Here's a large one. A lot of people don't like it, but it's a real delicacy to have some of the crab sauce. And then you're left with this. You got the baleen on the side. That's garbage. The mouthpieces come off the breastplate. Be very careful when you're peeling this off. I've gone in from the bottom one time and got stabbed by, these are actually penises under here. Funny thing about crabs is they're actually converted legs. And then you're ready to break them in half. Give them a shake. And there you have a nice clean crab ready to eat. Beautiful. Something pretty exciting this season on Destination Adventure is a little bit of diversity within cuisine. Myself, I'm a pretty basic eater, but Emmy on the other hand, completely different culture and cuisine, and blending the two should be pretty interesting. We caught one white meat Chinook, which we dropped off with the halibut at Rupert Meats. It's getting vacuum packed and frozen. And then the pink meat Chinook, we are gonna cure for sushi and sashimi. There's a hole in our pan already. Right here. Oh, dang it. You're in charge of the paper towel. Arigato. Phase 1 is just making sure that all of the pin bones are out and everything is nice and dry. So there is, in fact, a special tool called a pin bone puller. What we have here is a Leatherman. Serves the same purpose. There we have half of one salmon, and now we need to salt. Just to clarify, sushi is an absolute art form of which neither of us are trained for, but going through the curing process makes it safe to eat and should be delicious, and it is relatively easy. I mean, from what I can tell online, so far we are struggling. Phase 1, kosher salt. So you're not salting it to the point of wanting to dry it out. You just want coverage on the surface of the salmon, front and back. Look at that. You know what? I'm feeling actually quite optimistic already. It's looking great. We watched this a couple of different ways, and we're choosing to cure with the skin on because you do shave off the cured section before going into actually preparing it for a meal. And I think curing it with the skin on, we're just gonna waste a little bit less meat. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do this entire other fillet, but that is the deboning and salting procedure. We're gonna let that sit in the fridge for approximately 1 hour. Ready for phase 2 of the 2-phase procedure, and I can't believe the difference that the salt has made. There's still a bit of salt on top, but the amount of water that's come out of here is pretty remarkable. Again, the idea is not to dry it out, but this pulls all of the fishiness out of the fish. So the little bit of salt that was left on salmon we're leaving on there. And the second part of the recipe is really easy. Just regular old rice vinegar, and then water. Excuse me, everybody. So the idea is you just want your salmon submerged, and unbelievably you can see it's already starting to cure. Add in your ice, and then this goes back in the fridge for 1 more hour? 1 more hour. Here's our final product. Just came out of the fridge and it's looking quite nice. What you want is that little bit of cloudiness on top, and that's what the cure does. That's what we'll be actually cutting off in the future. But it almost seems like it's actually firmed it up a little bit. But the final phase is pretty important. You have to freeze it for at least 48 hours. I think we'll do a little bit more, but that verifies any bacteria or worms or anything will be killed during the freezing process, and then it's safe to eat. We do have our little freezer here, but I think we're gonna go and drop this off at Rupert Meats, and they'll freeze it because they flash freeze at -40, and our freezer takes a couple of days. But the last little step is just patting it nice and dry, and then it's ready for the freezer. What a glorious feeling. Got to stock the freezer, got to watch Emmy struggle in her first fish, and got to share it with all of you. Big thanks to Hayden for helping make that possible, and most of all, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Went down to the river, wash my sins away, pray, 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 and pray for another day. I went down to that river, wash my sins for free. The devil's on the other bank, staring back at me. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man.